Router. What do you think, what root word is underneath the word router? It's there, you just have to take one letter off. Yes, root. I don't know, it's a bit weird. Americans say route, but I suppose it'd be a bit weird if we pronounced it. Well, anyway, it's a router, okay? Now, what does a router do? This idea of a hub or a switch is very simple so far, right? It's just a very, very tiny network with very few nodes, okay? So if your network just looked like this, then you could get away with just having a hub or a switch. However, if you have a more complicated network, oops. No, these are pretty lousy actually. Yeah, that one too. If you have a network like this, so what is this, by the way? What topology is that? Do you remember? It's a kind of mesh. There are two kinds of mesh. Do you remember which one it is? What are the two kinds of mesh? Do you remember? The two kinds of mesh have to do with how many connections you've got. A full mesh means every node is connected to every single other node. What was the other one? Do you remember? Not full. It's partial. Okay. So anyway, lots of nodes are connected to lots of nodes, but not every single one. Anyway, have a look at this. Okay. Let me do this actually. Haha, take that, internet. Okay, so suppose, am I still drawing? No, I'm not. You are this node over here, okay? And you want to communicate with this node over here. Now, how are you going to get there? You could use a hub, if you like. That would certainly get it across to everyone. Eventually you get there. You could use a switch, but suppose your switch was here. And you're like, hey, dude, can you please get a message over there for me? Where would the switch go? Where would it send its message to? Where would you guess? It's kind of tricky, isn't it? Because there's lots of different ways. There's literally hundreds of different paths that can go. Okay, and you might think we'll take the shortest one. You know, the shortest one looks a bit like here to here to here to here, here, here. I don't know, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. That's pretty good, right? But you don't know, you know, for example, these connections between them, some are fast and some are slow, right? It's a bit like you're driving along and some roads, some back streets are quicker than the main street, even though the main street's bigger, but it's got more traffic and so on, right? It's a complicated question of what is the quickest route to get to your destination. Okay, this is actually a very, very complex problem. So therefore, we have a whole piece of technology devoted to trying to work out what's the fastest route. Okay, so a switch in a simple network, it can nudge you in the right direction. Okay, but it can't tell you what's the fastest way, or what's the most efficient way, or what's the way that's most likely to actually get your data to its destination and not have it lost. Okay, a router knows more about the kind of network it's in. Okay. So a router will be aware of what the shortest path is, how long each path is meant to take, how error-prone each path is, and so the router knows a lot, okay? And so it can make a more sophisticated decision. Does that make sense? Okay.